Welcome to season 2 of the Self Care Sanctuary, a community where self care is not an option, it's necessary. And I believe, that when you learn to love yourself, it really doesn't matter who doesn't. This season, we will be focusing all about creating safe and healthy relationships, beginning with ourselves. We are looking forward to hearing from all of you and all of our upcoming guests. I'm so excited about everyone that's going to be joining me here in the sanctuary community, as well as our new our new opportunity for you guys to become supporters of the Self Care
Mm.
Sanctuary. I am now found on Spreaker.com, Apple Podcasts, all of your streaming ones, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I am your host, Sharon Terry, licensed professional counselor, and also help me welcome our one of our family members, our favorite guest, Monica Williams. Hi, Monica.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
Yes, it's always a pleasure. Monica Williams is a dynamic speaker, life coach, podcast host, and author. She is celebrated for inspiring and impacting women everywhere with powerful messages of hope, resilience, and transformation. She is the visionary behind I Am That Monica, a global brand dedicated to fostering self discovery, healing, and growth for women seeking to embrace their full potential. Monica's passion lies in breaking barriers, helping women overcome their past, and creating spaces for authenticity and awareness. As a published author, her works include the acclaimed How I Loved God and Her, The Battle of the Heart, and The Unveiling Pain, Trauma, and Truth. She has also co-authored with Boldness, Unmasking Alopecia, and Revealing Resilience. Monica keeps surprising herself and the world as the visionary of her latest book, Women of Color, a collection of stories behind the shade, known by her motto, the face of change and the voice of power. Monica Williams continues illuminating the path to empowerment, providing a shield of safety for women to find their voices, helping them to unlock their full potential and to step into a brighter, healed future. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have this conversation with you today. And the topic of today is healing as we go. I
Mm.
think that that is something you and I are so familiar with. We've worked with women for years now. We started off years ago with Women Empowering Women. Even before that, we had a book club. I don't know, Women of Destiny, I think it was
Yeah.
called. We were in our early 20s, didn't know what we were doing, and still figuring it out as we go. But
Right.
I, for one, am so proud of you and all of the things that you are accomplishing. And I think that you and I are both perfect examples of how we can create our destiny, manifest the lives that we want. We used to sit back and talk on the phone for hours about where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
We would
Mm-hmm.
see it and we would, visualize it and talk about it to each other as if it was already done, right? We
Mm-hmm.
didn't know how, we didn't know when. I didn't know I would be in Texas, but here we are. And so healing as you go is a very important topic because a lot of people, me speaking it from a lens of a therapist, a lot of people tend to hold on to their past, right?
Mm-hmm.
The things that have happened to them, the trauma, the disappointments, the breakups. they actually internalize them and they become that pain, that hurt, that
Mm-hmm.
trauma. And then they, I call it bleeding. They start
Mm-hmm.
bleeding on everyone around them because they are not healing or allowing themselves to revisit that
Mm-hmm.
past,
Mm-hmm.
but yet still move on, not let your past hold you hostage, right? So a huge part, as I mentioned before, of healing, of self care is caring for that little girl, that little boy that's inside of you, waiting for some attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Begging, I still want to be heard, I still want to be loved. But it's a balancing act because we have to, as we care for that girl or that boy, we have to move on with life as well because every now and then that we're carrying the load of both,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So as we enter into this next season, this season of really healing, the first season we talked a lot about, as you well know because you were on there, we talked a lot about what self-care is, right? The different aspects of self-care, learning different techniques on how that shows up in our lives, like journaling, like spending time doing the things that you like.
Mm-hmm.
And this season, we are going to take people deeper. It's
Mm-hmm.
time out for just scratching your own surface. You
Mm-hmm.
need to get down to the root of things, right? And we need to start pulling some things up so that we can truly be free. Because if you
Mm-hmm.
cut the grass, it's going to grow back. It whip the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to pull it up and out and learn how we can be truly, truly free,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of this new journey. Speaking of new chapters, I mentioned that you are a master life coach now. So I'm so excited about that. And I'm so, here to see how this next chapter is going to blossom in your life. So tell me, why did you want to become a coach?
Well, I feel like, as you said before, thanks for bringing that to my remembrance as far as we were women of destiny. You know, that was the first group that we had established. And I realized that I've always been unofficially coaching. I just didn't know that's what it was called.
Right.
To me, I was just showing up for my friends, being a support, offering suggestions, advice, just being there, or for any woman that needed to talk to me or felt like they could trust me with whatever it was they was going through. So I felt like I've always been coaching. I just didn't know it. And so when the opportunity, came for me to really get into some coaching courses, I was thinking, why not? Maybe it's something I don't know. And I'm glad that I did get into the courses and learned some information and learned some things about myself, learned who I was and who I was, learned what was more important for clients that I'm going to definitely have lined up waiting for me. I was like, this course really helped me to see the bigger picture, the brighter picture. Yes, I've been coaching, but most of the times I was coaching from my personal op- opinions. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My personal, experiences a lot, pretty much doing a lot of projecting. And we
Okay.
don't know that we're doing that. We don't know that. And what I learned through the courses is when you're coaching, it's really all about the client.
For
It's
sure.
all about what it is they want. And what you do is you help them on that journey to become the person that is on the inside of them that they don't know is there. You help push them to achieve their goals because we all have them. We all have these goals and dreams and aspirations. There's things we want to do in life, but it's like, how do I do it? Where do I start? I don't even know what to do. I don't know the steps to take. And I felt like, yes, my life experiences and my knowledge with going through most of what a lot of people are going through in life, will help them to reach those goals and to give them tips and tools and steps to take, and limited beliefs. Oh my gosh, there a lot of what we don't do is based off of what we believe.
Yeah.
A lot of what why we don't move forward in life is based off of what we was taught, the lessons that we've learned along the way from our mom, our dad, our grandparents, our aunties, uncles, whoever raised you, your
Hmm.
community, your church, whoever has a big influence in your life. And so a lot of what we don't do and don't believe we can do is based off of limited beliefs. So
Right.
learning all of these things and these reasons and just feel like I'm just in a place again with my experience and with my knowledge and just with the courses that I've taken, that I believe that I can help push people past their limited beliefs, past their own ideas of who they think they are, and really show them who they really are and who they really can become. And I believe coaching will help people get to that next level, get to that place of achieving the things that they so deeply want to achieve in life, so deeply want to accomplish in life, and just don't know how. They just need a push. And I want to be their push. I want to be their cheerleader with the pom poms. I want to
Yeah.
help them get to that place that is already there. They just need some help getting there. You know.
Absolutely. We all do need some help
Hmm.
at some point in time
Hmm.
in our lives. And it is so hard sometimes for some people to
Hmm.
ask, to just say, hey, I'm struggling. I need
Hmm.
somebody to help me.
Hmm.
And then that's where you would come in. That's where I would come in. But do you have a specific audience that you are wanting to work with?
So, because I've always had a strong connection to women, that is my audience,
Hmm.
because I can connect, of course, better with women, and I feel like women can connect better with me. That's why a lot of women, even for their doctors, they say, I want a female doctor. When they go to counseling, I want a female counselor, But then you got some women that it doesn't matter to them. They don't care if they have a male doctor or a female doctor, a male counselor or a female counselor or therapist. They don't care. But there's a lot of women in the world that only want to be coached by another woman, counseled by another woman,
Right.
have a doctor by another woman.
Hmm.
And we understand each other.
Yeah.
We have something that connects us that a man just can't connect with us. Like we can't connect to, certain men on certain levels. They need another man to show them how to be a man.
Right.
We can give them some examples of what we believe a man should look like. But for you to really know how a man supposed should be acting, not really supposed, but how a man, like some examples of manhood, it's
Yeah.
good to have a man with you, right?
Yeah.
As an
Like role
example.
models,
As
mentors.
role model, right, as an example. So for me, I want to be my audience to be women. I'm not saying that I won't be able to coach men, but I think I'm more coachable to women because we have a lot of things in common. We can understand each other on a different level, emotionally, mentally. We can connect one with another, and I feel like women, when you are talking to another woman, you feel like you can open up more, you can let go more, you can release more. There's a lot of women who have been, hurt and harmed and traumatized by men, so they don't feel comfortable speaking certain things, especially not their dreams, and especially if a
Right.
man, if you are in a relationship, and say with your husband or your boyfriend, and you shared your dreams with them, and they just made it seem like it wasn't a big deal, then you don't trust talking about your dreams and goals and aspirations to a male of any kind. So you may feel more comfortable talking to a female about your goals, dreams, and aspirations because you feel like she'll understand me, because most women, we've had dreams and goals and aspirations. We was little kids playing with our little doll babies. We had an idea of what we wanted our life to look like. I mean, every little girl, mostly most little girls have said, they had their dolls and they said, I want to be a wife and I want a husband and I want two kids and I want a dog and I want a white picket fence, right? That's the dream. That was the dream. Why? Because number one, you saw it on TV, you know, or maybe you grew up with that example. So coaching women is just very I don't know, it's a passion of mine. It's like I get fueled and I'm on fire when I think about what I can do to help enhance and improve another woman's life, and
Yeah,
especially because of all the things that I've been through as a female
right.
to, you know what I mean? Like that in itself to connect, because most women, they're going to share that. They're not going to just talk about one day I want to have a single family home. While you're talking about that single family home, that's a goal of theirs that they want to accomplish or achieve. Something about their past is going to come up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Something about when they was a little girl is going to come up. Something about when they was a teenager is going to come up. Something about their young adulthood is going to come up. And with my experience and knowledge with going through childhood trauma and teenage pregnancy and high school dropout and failed relationships and failed marriages and toxic like all the stuff that I've been through in life, I feel like we'll be able to connect with so many women out there. So that's why my audience is more geared toward women, because of the connection that I believe that I can have with them and that they can too have with me.
that is so important. The word connection,
Mhm.
so that you can connect with them and they can connect with you. And I wanted to just use this opportunity to share with everyone that when you are looking for a life coach and or a therapist, it's so important for you to be able to feel like you can connect with that person, right?
Mhm.
And I always say it's like trying on a pair of shoes. You want it to be a good fit. And
Mhm.
sometimes that takes going through a
Mhm.
few, and you would know that. A lot of my clients, when I give them their free consultation, it's usually maybe like 20 minutes. If it's a couple, it may take a little longer. But by
Mhm.
the end of that 15, 20 minutes, we already know if we're going to be a match because we
Mhm.
can tell by the way that we flow in that
Mhm.
conversation,
Mhm.
right? And if they feel even comfortable enough to even share anything with me.
Mhm.
You would be surprised how much we can get out in 20 minutes,
Oh
how
yeah.
much a person, and I know this to be true for you and myself. We can be out in the mall and people will automatically feel like they want to share their life stories with us.
Mhm.
I remember even having one time a child, I was out in the mall with one of my children when they were younger, and the little girl was saying hi to me. Next thing I know, the little girl was following me and my son on down, and the mom, like, her parents haven't even noticed that she's gone, you know? So turning her around and hello, did you leave something?
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
thing is, when you have this gift and when you radiate that, when you're passionate, that comes forth. That's why people feel safe to
Mhm.
talk with you about things, that they can trust you. I know even in some of our meetings that we used to have women that would come in and say, "Hey, I'm going to share this with you guys today. I've never shared this with
Mhm.
anyone, but I'm going to share this here today, and this is where I'm going to leave it."
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
watching women specifically just become free
Mhm.
within that short period of time because they are lifting a load,
Mhm.
uprooting
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
As I mentioned
Mhm.
earlier, she pulled that thing up and left it there. And guess
Mhm.
what? We never saw her again at
Mhm.
any of the meetings
Mhm.
because she was free from that.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
was done.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so now with life coaching, I want to talk to you a little bit about. First, I want to go back to the exact moment that you had this aha, like, because you were a social worker,
Mhm.
are a social
I am
worker.
a social worker, yes.
Yes, you
Mhm.
are a social worker, and you were doing this, you've been doing this for years.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, what was the aha moment to say, you know what, I could probably even do more
Mhm.
with life coaching than I can with social work, or using those skills
Mhm. To
as
help.
part of my life coaching.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
did that switch turn on for you?
So I'll say the switch turned on, I want to say maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
I was just, because again, you know how you just, there's things you want to do in life, but you're like, oh,
Yeah.
So I'll go back. So it's been quite a few years that I said I wanted to be a coach,
Yeah.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
it just went away. The thought,
Mm-hmm.
the idea of it just went away.
Mm-hmm.
So about 6 months ago, it came back
Okay.
where not when it left, it never surfaced ever again until 6 months ago, but it just wasn't on the forefront of my mind. It wasn't something that I was thinking about often or all the time. Once in a blue moon, it'll come up where it's like, oh, I want to coach, but I wasn't taking it serious. I really, really wasn't giving it a whole lot of my attention.
Right.
So about 6 months ago, it really was strong that I wanted to do life coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I specifically wanted to do life coaching because of life, right? People,
Life was life.
life is life in for a lot of people.
Yes.
And I just felt like, I want to get into really coaching people one on one, having some group coaching. I think I'm ready for it. So what I did was I signed up for some coaching courses.
Okay.
So I signed up for the coaching courses, and that was all I did was signed up, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And in January, a situation happened at my job, and it was an unexpected moment for me.
Uh-huh.
And in that moment, I said, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't have to do this anymore. And I'm not going to do it anymore. Right. So I resigned, put in my resignation for my job. And my last day at my job was January 31st. And I took that following week off to just process everything that had happened and just like, okay, now what? Because I had a routine. I'm getting up
Right.
in the morning, I'm getting dressed, I'm getting ready, and I'm going to work, right? And I decided you need to go ahead and start them courses that you signed up for.
It was
That's what you
already
need to be
there.
doing. It was already there. Like, that's what you need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took like a month
Mm-hmm.
and did my courses and finished my courses. And after I was done, I was like, okay, now what? What are you going to do with it? Like it was
Right.
it was steps, it was stages, and it was
Right.
quick. It was
Mm-hmm.
quick, even though it was a short. It was like now you're done. Took you a month. You're finished. Now what? And I mean, it was every day. Now my wheels are constantly spinning now because I'm like, I am an official professional master level coach. I am
Yes.
a life coach. Now what? Even though, just so that we're clear, you don't have to be certified to be a coach. Your life experience and your knowledge is what qualifies you to coach others, to go through and come through what it is you've already been through. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So, your experience and your knowledge about things that people are dealing with in life is
Mm-hmm.
what qualifies you. But to
Okay.
have that certification
Mm-hmm.
helps. You know what I mean?
Of course. It
And
means you're serious about what you're
I'm very
doing.
serious about it, and just getting more because I'm always a student. I'm okay with being a student
Right.
and always learning, right? Because I always want to know more and how I can improve more and how I can improve better. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I did was I did a video, right? Just because. So I was like, okay, I finished my courses. I'm now a certified coach, right? What am I going to do now?
Uh-huh.
So one day I just did a video, about the services and about being a coach and about me wanting to coach you, just whatever the
Yeah.
video was about, right?
Right.
And then I said, okay, I'm taking these steps back. All right, I finished the coaching. Now I'm done. What am I going to do? Now I've done a video. What you going to do with the video now? Right? So it's like, okay, do I post the video now or do I wait until I get all this stuff in order? Because now I'm like, okay, certified coach. I got this video, but I need to have this in order, that in order. Da, da, da. I don't know how am I going to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I posted the video.
Okay.
So once I posted the video, I was like, it's out there. Like it's out there now.
It's
I put it out there that I am ready to coach you if you are ready to be coached, right? I put it
right.
out there to the
Right.
world, right?
Uh,
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get my website set up, right? So if people start reaching out, then they have somewhere to go to. So all this stuff literally happened like the same day. All right, this is what I need to do. This is the language I want to use. This is the description I want to have for it. Put this on my website. So when people start reaching out, they can go straight to the website, make their consultation, and meet with me, and then we can move forward. So I had so many aha moments like, okay, aha, you're done. Okay, aha, what you gonna do? Okay, aha, here's your video. Okay, aha, you put the video out. Okay, aha, what you gonna do now? So it was just constant, just aha moments.
Mhm.
And now I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I feel like it is a natural part of
Progression.
me. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Really, honestly, because
Yeah. It's who you are.
what you know is who I am, right? And
Yeah.
what you know. But
Hmm.
just having those courses and getting more educated and more information and more tips and more tools on how to coach, and what coaching really is and what it's not, because I am not your therapist. I am not your counselor. And counselor and therapist helps you with your past, and a coach help move you forward to your future. You know, and
Yes, I'm
that
so
was
glad you
good for
brought that up.
me. That was good for me to know and learn, because I always like to dig deep with people. You know that. I like to dig deep and go in your past and where it started from. And coaching, not saying that we won't have moments that we can touch on like that, but if I see that that is something that's getting a little deeper than what I'm there to do for you, then I will refer, any client out to a coach. I mean, I'm sorry, to a therapist or a counselor, But
Right.
my role and my job as a coach is to move you forward in life, to take you from
Exactly.
your past experience and push you forward.
Right.
So yeah. So I had those are my aha moments, and here I am, and I'm ready, and I'm excited to help people move forward in achieving their goals, whatever their goals may be. And I don't want people to think that your goal has to be a business or a for-profit or nonprofit organization. People have many different types of goals. People have goals to lose weight, but they need an accountability partner. They need, some help getting started. And what do I
Right.
do? I've tried 5,000 things and nothing have worked. So having a coach to help push you and move you forward and hold you accountable. Some people need that. They just need that. Some people trying to work on their marriage. Some people trying to build, rebuild a relationship with family or friends. There are so many goals that people have to become first-time homeowners, to get that promotion at your job, to,
Right.
to, to start a business, whatever it may be. A coach to help people move forward in that, it's here.
Yeah.
It's here for so many different aspects of people's life. But I don't want people to think that coaching is just for if you want to have a business.
Right.
It's so many more. It's so much more to it than just that.
So
Yes.
what I'm hearing you say is that with coaching, life coaching, you're there to, and I'm going to delineate the difference between the life coach, as you started, saying, and the therapist. Because as
Mm-hmm.
you said, there is a difference. There are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
similarities, but there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And what I heard you saying is that the life coaching is an approach to helping people identify their goals, their strengths, their weaknesses, and help them to develop some strategies
Mm-hmm.
to accomplish those goals, whether they be personal, professional, relationship, or even just overall improving their life, health and
Improving their
wellness,
life.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about, like you said, helping the clients move forward and overcoming those obstacles that may come
Mm-hmm.
up even as they journey on,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So, and one of the things that I like about life coaching, which is one of the major differences between um, being a therapist, because as you mentioned, you don't have to have a, a so-called license to have to be a life coach, which can be freeing in a lot of ways,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with me being a therapist, it's a governing body, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that you have the freedom to do that I don't as a
Mm-hmm.
therapist.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I cannot a therapy, if a client comes into me and say, I want therapy, it's all about them. It's all about them. And it is with life coaching as well. The
Mm-hmm.
difference is I cannot share my personal
Mm-hmm.
life with my client
Mm-hmm.
per se, or I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be, because it should always be about them, right? About the
Yes.
client. Now, there
Mm-hmm.
are occasions when my clients may say, well, tell me something about yourself, or they may ask me,
Mm-hmm.
little things, but it's
Mm-hmm.
very light, it's very surface. They shouldn't be trying to be there helping me. I'm there
Mm-hmm.
to help
Mm-hmm.
them, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's ethically wrong for me to go into what is going on with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
They if I want to respond to a question, like I remember one time I was working in a rehabilitation center, and one of the group members said, "Hey, I want to know if you are in recovery as well. Can I ask that question?" I said, "Sure, you can ask that question."
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, I was able to share, "Hey, I'm not personally in recovery, but I
Mm-hmm.
do have a lot of personal experiences with people, family, friends who are in recovery, or
Mm-hmm.
I've been affected by substance abuse in some form or manner. And this is why I became therapist, or, working with substance abuse, or any type of mental illness and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even after sharing that with her, I couldn't go into details about, well, this is
Absolutely.
how, it was not a step by step process. Whereas with life coaching, you can actually, just like you did,
Mm-hmm.
explaining your aha moments, you can do that with your client. Hey, this
Mm-hmm.
is what I had to do. I had to do this, this, this. This is how I
Mm-hmm.
know what it's
Mm-hmm.
like to overcome being
Mm-hmm.
a teenage mom,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because this is how I had to do it. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned
Absolutely.
along the way. Or
Mm-hmm.
this is how I overcame depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
having a life coach, it really allows you to be connected with someone who can really be in the trenches with you in a different way. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already gone through that trench, and
Mm-hmm.
they can tell you, this is the exact path that I took. So follow me to getting out of here.
Absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
that about life coaching. And therapists, we can do both.
Th- Right.
We
Right.
can do both.
Mm-hmm.
And that there are times when, I provide the life coaching side, and then I can provide the therapy side.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
me, most of mine is focusing on therapy and,
Mm-hmm.
mental illness. But also, I want to just go into a little bit more about the differences, because you touched on how, you can't go back in the past. With a therapist, what we do is we use, evidence-based
Right.
tools to
Mm-hmm.
help people address, as I mentioned earlier, that little girl overcoming their trauma,
Mm-hmm.
overcoming just low self-esteem, and how they got there. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I share with my clients is that I'm here to help you, go back to where you've been, to understand why you're where you are now, so that we can get to the life you want
That's
in the
absolutely.
future,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You, as a life coach, start with, this is where you are.
Right.
This is it. This is where you are, and this is where you're telling me you want to go.
Yeah.
So here are the strategies to
Mm-hmm.
get you there.
To get you there.
Man, if we had a life coach so
Mm.
long ago,
Come on here.
at the beginning of last I had um the beginning of last year, I started with Melissa Lambert, and she acted as my professional coach, starting
Mm-hmm.
off with some mind mapping. Basically, mind mapping is just to, like you said, laying that foundation of what you want to do and where you
Mm-hmm.
want to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here I am, a year later, doing season two
Mm-hmm.
of the Self Care Sanctuary. I have written the Self Care Sanctuary Journal,
Mm-hmm.
which my clients love it. I get a lot of positive feedback. And I'm currently and working on my second journal, which will be released soon. It's going to be a digital copy of I changed my mind about me,
Mm, my
a
God.
guide to self love and compassion.
Mm,
And basically, it's just all about affirmations. So, this is where both of us do
mm,
work in that arena. We also, as therapists, our goal is to improve mental health, right?
mm,
Helping people deal with depression, anxiety, helping them to learn how to deal with the distress that they are under, and using those affirmations to really uproot those negative thoughts and the
mm,
stories that they've been telling themselves about why they cannot get to their destination of
mhm,
the life that they
mhm.
want. Now, I have shared about what both therapist and a life coach. That being said, there are times when you need both.
And I was going to say
I
too
can't
that
hear
you
you.
can. Oh, can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? Did something happen?
Hmm.
Because I can hear you. So yeah, so as I was saying, that you literally can have both, a therapist and a life coach. Sometimes it would probably be recommended that you do, if you are dealing with stuff that you are not dealing with. If
Right.
you have a past and that past has been crippling you or has paralyzed you, and you have grown up because you got older, but mentally you're still that 5-year old little girl or little boy, whatever, in that trauma, and you're still responding from that place, then you're going to need something more than just coaching, you know. And so having both would be probably beneficial, because you people think, well, if I have a life coach, I wouldn't be able to have a counselor. Yes, you can. If I have a counselor, I can have a life coach. Yes, you can, because you could be wanting to work on two things at one time. You can. You want to deal with your past, but you also want to move forward in your future as well.
Yeah.
So having them both hand in hand would be beneficial for any person. I know for me, I had to deal with a lot of stuff, from my past that I thought that I had dealt with, that I hadn't dealt with. And I was carrying around a lot of trauma for 43 years of my life. And I did not get that aha moment of that until I was 1 month away from turning 50 years old. And my trauma started at 7. So for 43 years, I carried around a whole lot of trauma that
Right.
I didn't know that I was carrying around, that I
Yeah.
didn't know was a part of my life, that I didn't know that I was responding from.
Right.
And so you can deal with your past and your future at the same time. You just on
Yes.
different ends of the spectrum. So I don't want anybody to think that you got to do one or the other, because you got some people, yeah, their past is their past and they don't know that it has been affecting them all the way through their, young adult and, adulthood. They don't know that that has been the cause of their behaviors. But you also are working on, moving forward in life too. But you're like, but there's something just keep holding me back. Like every time I take 2 steps forward, I get knocked back 5 steps. And that's because you're trying to move forward in your future goals.
Mhm.
But then those past traumas have you, it's like tug of war. You got somebody pulling you on this end forward, but then you got those traumas pulling you this way backwards. And so you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I want to go forward, but I'm keep going backwards. I want to go forward, but I'm keep going backwards. That's why having your forward coach to keep you moving forward. And then you have your therapist that's going to help you deal with those past traumas and that past pain and all the stuff that you're dealing with back there. So you got two people on two different ends of the spectrum helping you heal from past and helping you move forward to your future. So
Absolutely.
it's good to have both if necessary. You got people who have
Right.
dealt with their past.
Right.
And so now they're like, I've dealt with all of that. Now some stuff may come up during coaching, right? Absolutely it will. But You've dealt with it and you know it and you're familiar with it and you're healing from that. And now you're ready to move forward. So, what you need is a life coach, maybe not a counselor anymore because you've already dealt with your counseling issues and situations. And now you just want to move forward in life, you know. And so now I
Right.
need that coach to help move me to a place I've never been before because all the places that I've been have been places of trauma, places of hurt and pain and resentment
Hmm.
and rejection. Those are
Yeah.
the only places that I've ever lived in. So those are the only
Right.
places I'm familiar with, and those are the only places I know. So now my coach is about to take me to a place I ain't never been before. And now those limited beliefs with thinking that you can't, but you can. You know what I mean? Somebody told you that you couldn't, and I'm here to tell you that you can and the reasons why you can. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have some clients who are in recovery.
Mm,
They experience mental health issues as well. And they have me. They have, I mean, these are some dynamic, powerful women who
mm-hmm,
are out here, getting life coaching
mm-hmm,
themselves and being life coaches as
mm-hmm,
well.
mm-hmm,
Um, but when I think about healing as we go, right?
mm,
Um, I think about listeners, if you can picture a person or a woman who has a ton of heavy winter coats on,
mm.
and imagine, if you will, her wanting to walk with these heavy coats on, but it's hot outside. So she is like sweating, she's thirsty, but she's got all these tons of coats. And imagine how heavy those coats are as she tries to walk along the path to where she wants to go. Healing as we go, as a therapist, she's going to therapy. And with every session, one of those coats is coming off.
Come on.
And as she's walking alongside of her life coach, right? So now she's walking hunched over.
Mm,
She's still moving, even though this load of coats is heavy. She's still moving. She's still walking. Her coach is giving her strategies, but she still has all these heavy coats on. She goes to another session. And now another load is off. So
mm,
she's walking a little bit straighter because now the load is getting lighter. And every
mm,
session she has with her therapist, she's able to walk a little bit taller. And
mm,
as she walks a little bit taller and she's working with her life coach, she can start embracing this future, this destiny that her life coach has laid out, not the life coach's destinies that she's assigned, but her own
our
vision.
own.
As
Mm,
she becomes to lighten this load and she starts standing up taller,
mm,
she can now see what's ahead.
mm,
Before she couldn't because she was looking down because
mm.
there was so much weight from these heavy coats. So that's an illustration of how we heal as we go. We lighten our load with all of the trauma. We start taking that stuff off, and as we take that off, our heads and our back become straighter, and
Mm.
then we can move forward with a life coach to so that they can show us this is the strategy. Because it's no need in having a strategy if you don't even believe in yourself that you can do it.
That's right. That's
If you
right.
have been telling yourself a story that I am not worth it, I don't deserve it, then a life coach will literally be banging her head against the wall, trying to get you to see that, yes, you are.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yes,
Yes, you can. Yes, you will.
you can.
Mm-hmm.
You will. Why? Because you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your
Mm-hmm.
birthright.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I help you as your therapist to show you why you even think that that thought wasn't even yours. It
It
was
wasn't even
somebody
yours.
else's.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else put that thought in you. You and of yourself thought you was the best thing since sliced bread until someone else put that thought in your mind.
To make you question yourself and doubt yourself and not believe in yourself.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. And that's one of the reasons why we are moving toward building healthy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a healthy relationship, they're not going to tell you what you can't do. They will show you how you can have a can do attitude. And that's where a life coach, a therapist, some of my clients even have sponsors. I have clients who have sponsors who help them with their addiction to stay clean.
Got mentors.
They have, yes, mentors. They
Mm-hmm.
have nutritionists.
Yeah.
They have fitness. They have all the things. Why? Because they know that they need help. I can't be their fitness coach because I need one.
Right.
I can't be their nutritionist because I can tell you what to do, but I need one.
Right. I'm sitting here eating a chicken box. I can't tell you not to eat one. I'm
Look,
saying to eat one with my salt, pepper, and ketchup. Come on.
right. Like I need therapists need therapists.
Coaches need coaches.
And coaches need coaches. So we all are in this together. We're all on a journey. And at some point in time, we need someone to help us get through. And it can be season. Everything is for a season. It doesn't say you
Mhm,
have to have it for your whole entire life. I have clients
mhm,
who pop in and out, right? Business coaches to help you from one project to the next. As you master one thing, you get to another, and if you need more help getting through that, then that's what you do. Self care is about addressing every area in your life,
mhm.
and the
Every area.
healthier
Mhm,
relationships that we have with ourselves
mhm,
will garner more healthy relationships with others
mhm,
because we're
mhm,
going to teach them how we want to be treated.
mhm.
They're going to see how we want to be loved because they're going to see us loving ourselves. So
Absolutely.
if you're not going to love me like I love me or better,
Mhm,
uh, there's nothing
mhm,
for us to talk about.
mhm. Well, the thing about love is we don't have a good example of what love is. And so when we think that if you're not going to love, some people are being loved the way that they love themselves, which is negative, which is not good. So because you don't have a positive love for yourself is why you're attracting the type of love that you love yourself with, and is negative and it's degrading. You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's why we need
It's
healthy love
That's why we need
relationships.
healthy love. But until you get healthy, you don't know what healthy is. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's where
So
we
a lot
come
of
in.
times you be like, how could a woman or whoever, but we're talking about women now, how could a woman be with, a man that, I'm just saying, that disrespects her or hurt her or harm her, or which whatever the situation is, it's because that's how she see herself, as deserving as a person degrading and mistreating her, because she mistreats herself. She degrades herself. You know what I mean? She puts herself down, and that's why it is so important, again, for us to have that coach and that therapist and that counselor, because the counselor is going to help you understand why you don't love yourself, why you're degrading yourself, why you have such these negative thoughts about yourself. The counselor is going to go back to your childhood to help you understand how you got to that place. Whereas
Exactly.
though, whereas though the coach is going to be waiting for you on the other end to pour you through, the person that you were always meant to be before the trauma
Right.
introduced itself to you, before,
Right.
before the pain introduced itself to you. The coach is on the other end to bring you to that person before the trauma, to
Right.
change the trajectory of your life, to
Absolutely.
become
Absolutely.
that positive, motivating person that you really are on the inside. But of course,
Hmm.
like they say, tragedy struck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something happened and it caused you to not be your full self, not walk into your true potential.
Right.
So it is definitely a very rewarding thing for any of us to have, for all of us to have, for the world to have, is to be a whole person, a whole healed person, not a half person, but a whole healed person.
Right.
Some of us are just half healed. We want to be healed whole mind, mind, body, and soul. We want it all to work together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I love that demonstration, that illustration that you gave with the winter coats, like layers and layers and layers and layers of winter coats. So you in your winter season, right? But guess what? Winter is only but for a season.
For a
You know what I
season.
mean? And so you are still trying to get to your spring and your fall and your summer season with all of your winter baggage. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's kind of hard for you to even enjoy the fall because you got the winter baggage. And it's even harder to enjoy the spring and the summer because of all the winter baggage, And so you as the therapist, as the counselor, is helping them peel off of those layers, you know what I mean? So that they can step into spring, step into summer and enjoy fall,
Right.
without all of the winter baggage that held them down and kept them from being able to participate in other seasons of their life.
Yes.
To
Yes.
show up in other seasons of their life. Because in the summer, you don't need to have on a winter coat and a winter hat and gloves and boots. You don't need that on, but you could never enjoy the summer because you always had on a winter coat, a winter hat, gloves and boots, scarves, leg warmers. Remember leg warmers? Like you always had on all that stuff
Right.
and you never could enjoy summer. And the coach is right there in the summer saying, I want you to enjoy summer. I need you to enjoy summer. This is how summer look. You know, this is what summer looks like. So yeah, oh, it just goes hand in hand. I love it. I love being a life coach. I love that you can have therapy and counseling and have a life coach and have us all at the same time and
All
have
at
a
the same
mentor
time.
and have a fitness coach and have a spiritual coach and have a financial coach. Trust me when I tell you, whatever coach you want to have, you can have it. You can have it all at one time if you want. Now, you don't want to wear yourself out and be too, oh my gosh, I got this, and no.
Right.
So maybe you want to be
Stages.
two at a time and say, okay, now I want to work on this type of coaching and then that type of coaching.
Right.
But everything we need is here. Whatever we need is
Exactly.
in this world. Whatever you're struggling with, whatever you need to have to help you to move forward in life, because that's what it's all about. It's all about moving forward in life. We have been back long enough. We are getting older. We're not Benjamin Button where we're aging backwards. We are aging forward.
Yep.
Okay, Benjamin Button was a movie. I hope you know that. That wasn't real. So you ain't aging backwards. We are, people tell us, girl, you aging backwards, but really we are aging forward. So we need forward
Absolutely.
living, forward life goals and principles and tools
Right.
to help move us forward in life. We've been back long enough.
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
So wonderfully said. It is time to start healing
mm,
as you go.
mm,
Let those things, all of those heavy weights,
mm,
it's time to start shedding some of that. A lot
mm.
of it, I bet you, is not even yours.
It's not even yours.
And that's a topic for another day.
That's a topic for another day. We gotta have a topic on that. Girl, it ain't even yours.
Woo. I said to my one of my clients I was talking to, and you know how we as women like to just be super women and save everybody, and and she's a Christian woman, and she was talking about it, and she was telling me everything, and I said, you know what? You need to stop being a cross snatcher. Everybody got their own cross to bear. You
We,
can't bear your own because you too busy carrying everybody else's and it's too heavy.
we.
Give everybody else their crosses back. Stop taking them and bear your own.
Mm,
You will
mm.
find that it's much lighter load. You can go a
It,
lot further. So for everyone, that's another day, another session that we
it
will get
really
into
is. It really
about
is.
how we need to
Mm,
focus on our healing. The
mm,
self care sanctuary community, we're a family. And this
mm,
is a family where we're not telling you everything that goes on in this house stays in this house. No, we want
mm.
you to tell everybody about what's going on over here in
Come
this
on here.
house.
Come on
There
here.
is healing and
Mm.
growth and power and so many things. There's tools for your well-being here at the self-care sanctuary. Monica, before we go,
Mm.
because this has been such a wonderful conversation, and
Yes.
I'm just looking forward to what is ahead. We're going to be doing maybe a group session together where we can invite our listeners in to ask us questions,
Mm.
set up a group Zoom or something like that. But tell us, what type of coach are you?
So I am, as we've said, I think we've talked about it. I am the life coach. Okay. Because again, there are many different types of coaches. And we have our spiritual coach, we have financial coaches, we have business coaches. Like there are so many different types of coaches, but for me, I am considered a life coach because I want to help navigate you through life obstacles and with some strategies and some tools to help you move you forward to the from the I can't to I am and I will,
Okay.
and so life, like I said, is lifing for all of us. And
Hmm.
so life gets in the way, and because I've been through so much of life
Yes.
and I am experienced with all types of life obstacles and life issues and situations and traumas and anything that you can think of, what better coach for me to be than a life coach,
Yeah.
because we can deal with everything life, all aspects of life. And I want to be able again to help move you forward in your life, but move you forward and not backwards. I want to help bring you from the backwards thinking, to the forward thinking and
Yeah.
help you
Growth
with
mindset.
those growth mindset. I always say forward thinking, forward
Yes.
thinking, no more backwards thinking. Well, we're not, that happened. Well, I understand that happened. I can empathize and sympathize with you. We can touch on it, but now what we're going to say is, because of that, let's try this. Because you went through this, let's try going through this. Let's try going through that. Let's
Mhm.
use what happened to help move you forward. Because if you stay with what happened, you will never get to the other side. You will always stay here and you will never reach here. And there's things that I, as a life coach, want to help people to get to. It's your true potential. It's there. You just don't know it because you've been stuck here, and I'm
Right.
ready to move you forward. I'm ready to support you. I want you to commit because I'm going to commit to you. I want you to find meaning in your life and all the stuff that you went through in life. It's time for you to find some meaning from it and
Right.
use it for your good, to feel confident about the person that you are going to become because of who you was at one point in your life. Now it's time to become. So that's why I am considered a life coach.
I love that. Someone, a coach that can help me navigate life when it starts lifing
When it starts
and
life
it
and
becomes overwhelming. So, this again has been such a wonderful episode. Thank you so much for joining me for my first episode of season 2. I want to just ask our listeners, are you ready to
mm,
heal?
mm,
Are you ready to heal for real?
heal for
Right?
real. Mm,
Understand, some people can be healed instantly,
mm,
while others have to be healed as they go. Which
mm.
one are you? For
Mm,
most of us, we have to heal as we go, as we're moving forward.
mhm,
We
mhm,
can't stop.
mm,
We can't be stuck.
mm.
So be ready, family. We're going to be doing some healing and some moving. Okay? We're
I
not going
know
to be
that's
stuck.
right.
We're going to put into use those tools that we learned. So are you ready
Mm,
to be
mm, mm,
healed?
mm.
Monica,
Mm-mm.
for those who are ready to be healed,
Mm.
let us know how they can reach you. Because girl, you worldwide. I can't do therapy worldwide. I can be worldwide with the self-care sanctuary family, but
Yes.
therapy, I'm only in Texas. So let our listeners know, how can they reach you?
Listeners, if you are ready to dream bigger than you ever have before, if you are ready to achieve your goals and reach your goals and accomplish your goals, and I know the answer is yes, I can be reached at I am that Monica.com, which is my website. And there you can sign up for your free 30-minute consultation with me.
We like free.
Yes, I will be waiting for you. I can also be reached at info at I am that Monica, which is my email. You can find me on Facebook under I am that Monica. I have an I am that Monica page, and you can also find me on Facebook under Monica Williams. I also have a number where you could reach me on is 717-850-3440. So there are many ways to contact me, to reach me, but I would love for you to go to my website, I am that Monica.com, and sign up for your free 30-minute consultation. Let's talk, let's chat about those goals and those big dreams.
Yes, I'm excited. Just tag in the comments, put me in, coach. Reach out to her so that you can
Yes.
start your new journey. Again, my name is Sharon Terry, licensed professional counselor out of good old Texas. And this is the Self Care Sanctuary. And remember, self care, it is not an option, it's necessary. And when you learn to love yourself,
Mm.
I mean, with that healthy, for real love, it doesn't matter who doesn't. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. You can listen on any platform. Again, you can tell what's going on in this household. Thank you. Have a nice, wonderful day.
Bye
Bye.
bye.